Hey there, just wanted to take a couple of quick minutes and run you through your one-pager that you will be using as a visual component to your speaking summative. So you're going to create a one-pager that visually shares ideas and information from the novela El Duende de Salento. And this will be used to have the conversations that will start a week from Friday. So what do you need to include in that one pager? So first and foremost, you need to have the title of the novela, el título. So El Duende de Salento should be somewhere pretty prominent on there, since that is what this entire vistazo is about. You're going to include the personajes. So who are the key characters of the novel? So, obviamente you're going to include Saria, Duende, but who else played a role that you feel needs to be represented? What símbolos, what symbols kept coming up in the book, or are things that we talked about on more than one occasion? So, for example, you might choose to include la guitarra con cuerdas rotas. So the guitar with broken strings became a pretty important piece throughout it, and so we talked about that guitarra and why it was what it meant for various individuals. As well as there's a number of other things as well that could be included. The big piece is that you're going to include actions of the book, so los eventos. What is it that happened? So the highlights. You're not going to include everything from the 60-page novel, but pick out the key components of events that happened that would be important in talking about este novela. So in addition to including the title of the novel, the only other words that you can have on there is going to be a direct quote from the book, and it can be from anywhere in that novela that you find important. So whatever that quote is, you'll include it word for word along with the page number that you took it off of. So the title and the direct quote, again, are the only two words or two places that you're going to include words. Lastly, you're going to include a visual reaction to the book. So whether that's, some sort of emoji or star system or rating or thumbs up, or however it is you choose to relay your reaction to the book. So from that, what you're going to be doing is to arranging it on a single 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And you're going to do so in a way that's logical and makes sense for you. So a couple of examples, and again, everyone kind of goes about this a little bit differently, so I'm not going to say it has to be this particular format. I'm telling you what needs to be there, and I'm going to leave it to your creative juices to decide how that might look. So for example, here's two examples that might be there. So both of them have the same number of spaces. It's just that centerpiece that's slightly different. So in my head, I could see putting a quote from the novel maybe around the outside. Maybe I put the title of the novel in the center, and then I use the other pieces of it to include the personajes, the eventos, the símbolos, all of those other key components. I have two additional ones here. The one on the right-hand side is just another way. Again, it's divided in basically the same number. It doesn't have a border around it. You could certainly add one, but this one also then adds stars to it. So again, you kind of do how you feel is going to work for you. The other one that's listed on here on color, so first off, I would say it has way too many words on it, because again, you're only going to put words for putting the title and for the quote from the novel. The rest of it is going to be entirely in images. But I like this particular one because it reminds me almost of like a movie poster. So if you think about movie posters, they have like a background that ties into the movie itself, and then they have a couple of key scenes that typically they put out in the foreground, so that you can get some idea like what might happen in the movie. So in my head, I see that for this one that's done in color, and they kind of did that with one image there. And then for me, I would put the quote around the outside and plug the information in to the rest of those spaces. You could also divide that middle space and make 4 smaller spaces at the top with a larger space at the bottom. Again, you do what you feel is going to work best for yours. Your one pager should include color. It should be in your own original work. So it's not something that you are creating, taking what other people have done. It doesn't need to be, high Picasso. Well, Picasso's an awesome abstract artist, but it doesn't have to be realism to the T. You can see in my example, those are stick people, and stick people get the job done. So you just have to be clear in what it is that they're portraying. So then fast forward to give you an idea. What you're going to be doing then is answering questions related to that. So questions I might ask, for example, with regards to the personajes, to the characters, I might ask you to, describe one of them. So I might say, ¿Cómo es el duende? And you would then describe that individual. Or I might ask you, ¿Qué pasó en la novela? What happened? And you're going to, in the preterite tense, and el pretérito, you're going to give me the events that took place. I might ask you your opinion. So, ¿qué opinas de la novela? Or I might say, ¿le recomiendas a un amigo? Would you recommend it? Or do you recommend this to a friend? Explica, explain. So the idea is we're using the one pager that is almost entirely visual, and done so, in a unique way with images and color, to have a conversation about the novel. So you're pulling those pieces together. You will have some time to work on it after the summative, the written summative on Friday. You will have all of A Day next week, and you will have a portion of B Day next week. We will take about half of the class period on B Day to practice speaking, to actually use the questions that you're going to see, to be able to talk through, get ideas, hear how other people are answering it, and pull that information together. The summatives themselves will start on Friday, so a week from this Friday. This Friday will be the written summative, and next week then for specifically seniors, and then anyone else that is ready, willing, and wants to go can go on Friday, and we will then finish them up the following week, Monday and Tuesday. If you've got any questions, feel free to shoot me an email. I'll get back to you as quick as I can on that. Otherwise, we can always chat when I'm back in the classroom. So have a great one. Hasta pronto.